Okay, so what are your two reasons, Tristan? So the question is a 10-mark question. It's similar to an A-level 9-mark question for AQA, the 10-mark question for AS from the specimen paper. So there's two reasons apart from changes in income for the rise of food prices in that period. And you've got an extract which is not like it will give you some clues, but you can also do it with your own knowledge. So Tristan, what were your two reasons?
I said the change in like season or weather for
Season
my
two.
first reason.
And your second reason?
The price of like substitute goods.
Well done. Um, Esan, your two reasons.
One was climate change and population growth from the extract.
Neeraj, your two reasons.
I said supply chain disruptions and increased population.
Okay, so I put population already, and then what was the supply one?
Disruptions in supply chain.
Okay, so something to do with supply chain. I'll write that for now, and then I'll explain. So, just a quick run through then. So, Tristan, if you were to do change in season, what diagram would you associate that with? Or what would the explanation be as to why that changes the price of food?
Like the supply goes down.
Yeah, cool. Supply shift left. Esther, are you thinking the same?
Yeah,
Mhm. Niraj, if you said population growth, what diagram would you associate that with?
Uh, I do demand and supply. I'd say there'll be increase in demand.
Yeah, perfect. So you guys got it spot on. So the thing is, this question mentions price specifically, but what I want you to remember is anytime the question asks you for a change in price, I want you to remember this. So a change in price in a free market can only be caused by two things. Okay. So an increase in price can only be caused by a right shift in demand or a left shift in supply. There's no other way the price can change in a free market. Obviously, those two are going to be your reasons. So you're going to pick a sub-factor of those. And within that, you've got your extract to help you, but you also want to relate back to pirates for this one, and then PC20 for this one, the acronym for the factors. Okay, so for example, population, incomes, related goods like substitutes and complements, advertising, trends, expectations, and season. So we can't pick income because the question already tells us that we can't. So that's gone. And then we're kind of looking what does the extract show. You can pick two for demand or one for demand, one for supply, doesn't matter. Supply, we want to talk about productivity. So if you talk about the supply chain thing, you can link it to productivity, link it to cost of production. Technology being better or worse, the weather, um, indirect taxes and subsidies we haven't done yet, and the number of firms. Okay, cool. So, but then you're just thinking, A, what's in my extract? That means that my answer is realistic. And secondly, what can I write a big paragraph about rather than just keeping it quite short? Okay. So, incomes we can't do, population, a few of you mentioned, which is perfect. And then an interesting one is always related goods. Okay. Um, let's pick one of them and try and write a paragraph. So let's do population. Was it mentioned in the extract or was that just from your own knowledge?
yeah, in the second paragraph, first line.
Cool. So food prices have been rising for a number of reasons, including climate change and population growth. So nice and straightforward. It's already there for us. Cool. So let's start with the population one. So I would start off these kind of questions with all the relevant definitions. So it's talking about price. So I would define a market straight away. Let's get the mark for that. You don't have to, but there's different options, but market sensible. So market is a place where buyers and sellers meet to exchange goods and services. Equilibrium price is where demand meets supply. Okay, now I'm on to my first paragraph, so I'm going to talk about population. So one reason for an increase in price is an increase in population. And you can mention where that was mentioned as well. So it was like line 8 and 9. So I asked you guys this before, and you said that that causes a right shift in demand. So this would cause right shift on causing the equilibrium price to change. And then I would show that. So I showed that. So right now, I would literally just draw a diagram showing that if that's my S1, and that's my D1, and that's my D2, fully labeled. So that's my price, that's my quantity, Q1, Q2. And then P1, P2. And then I've got like, all of a sudden, I've got 2 sentences turned into a big paragraph because I've got my diagram now as well. Okay, so then I would just say, the diagram shows the price increase from P1 to P2. So each paragraph is worth about 5 marks in a way. Well, or you could say 4 marks. You got some definitions at the beginning as well. So it's still is pretty much there, but you could still add a bit more just to be safe, right? So what kind of things could we add? The main thing I would add is just the definition of demand and linking it to what we're talking about. Asan, can you remember the definition of demand? Number of
Uh,
goods and services that people are.
that people want,
People are what? Something and something, do you remember?
willing and able to buy.
Good. People are willing and able to buy at each given. Okay. And then just a tiny bit of explanation and we're done. So if population was to increase, there would be more people who need to buy food at each price. So regardless of the price. That is my demand shift, right? Causing the price equilibrium price to increase. Yeah, so these kind of questions are just knowledge. There's no like discussion. You just have to state your theory. So use definitions and diagrams and examples to help you a lot. So if we do that, it's a great example. If we do a diagram, that's excellent. And then just some definitions and connecting stuff together with showing off your understanding. Basically trying to write something in a way that someone who doesn't do economics, they would still understand what we wrote about. Okay. Okay. Now I'll give you guys 5-10 minutes. Can you try and write any other paragraph of your choice for this question? So it can be the one about the weather if you want, or it can be a different one. Any.